From work to play, from kids to adults, we've got all the bases covered in this episode of Inside the South Valley.
La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la.
If you're looking for a way to get your kids active and social, the Little Gym in Morgan Hill has classes tailored for your child's age group. They offer a variety of activities, including dance and gymnastics, plus some special events such as seasonal camps when school's not in session. You can even take advantage of Parents Survival Night, which gives you the opportunity to use a gym as a glorified babysitter while you go out for a date. Owner Carol Cromer has been involved in gymnastics since she was a child herself, and it's her goal to make every experience at the Little Gym fun and exciting for all.
I'm in love.
Hi, I'm Carol. Welcome to the Little Gym.
I'm in love with you.
Why don't you describe what the Little Gym is?
Okay, sure. The Little Gym is serious fun for children ages 4 months to 12 years. We teach gymnastics in a very loving, nurturing environment. We praise the children a lot, and we grow their physical skills at the same time as growing their self-confidence, which is really important in children these days. They really don't get enough building up of their self-confidence, so we really work on that a lot. And when the children get older, past the 3 years of age, they can also take classes in sports skills and dance. So it's a lot of fun.
So Kelly, let's shift over to you and let's talk a little bit about some of the programs that the Little Gym offers and what your role is to make that happen.
Okay, so as Carol mentioned, we work with 4 months to 12 years old. So our main programs is gymnastics-based program, the sports skills program, and the dance program. And my role in that is, in addition to being program director, I am a lead instructor in a couple of those programs, gymnastics and sports specifically, although I do also have a hand in dance as well. And I work specifically with the pre-K ages, so just working on that motor skill development through gymnastics, dance, and sports skills, and gearing them up for the more advanced classes.
What keeps you waking up in the morning and say, yes, I'm looking forward to today?
Awesome. When the kids walk in the door, it's like they just run up to me. Hi, Miss Carol. I'm so happy to see you. They give me a huge hug. I mean, parents tell me their kids talk about me at home and just, can't wait to come to class to see Miss Carol and to show Miss Carol I can do this by myself and that by myself. I mean, I really feel like I've made a positive difference in the lives of hundreds of children. Now we have a staff of 6 other teachers. We do great birthday parties. So, for children turning 1 all the way up to 8, 9, 10 years of age, we have a blast doing our birthday parties. So we'll do everything for you. We'll do all the cleanup, all the setup, send out the invitations, and you're just free to come and watch your child celebrate their special day. We also have monthly and sometimes bi-monthly Parents' Night Out activities. It's called Parents' Survival Night. So parents could drop off their child, and they could be a member or a non-member at the Little Gym, whether their child's currently taking classes or not. They can still participate in this. And for 3.5 hours, we do dinner, we do games, activities, we craft, and have always serious fun. That's our tagline. So serious fun, doing just, hanging out and having old-fashioned fun while parents go out for the evening. And then also we have camps during the summertime and also during our holidays, school breaks. So spring break and Christmas break, we have our awesome camps going on too.
Would you mind giving our viewers a quick tour?
That'd be great. This is our front desk. This is where we will greet you and answer any questions you have. This is my wonderful staff, Miss Kelly and Miss Danielle. They're working hard. We'll be starting a class here in a few minutes, and they'll be answering any questions, like I said, you might have. They'll greet you when you walk in. As a new member, you are entitled to 10% off of our retail shop. We come with new merchandise every couple weeks. We have our beautiful leotards and t-shirts, little dance items and whatnot. So this is our birthday party room right now. It's during the week, so we don't have a party going on, but let's take a look at it. As you can see, we have it set up with the 2 tables in the middle, small chairs for your children to sit in. We have a refrigerator, all the covers of the microwave, so we can help you with your party, get your food ready, store it for you. We go ahead and put balloons on all the chairs and make it very festive. It's lots of fun. We've got our birthday banner up, and we are just waiting for your child's party. This is our dance room. We have a dance program that starts at 3 years of age and goes to 10 years of age. In our dance class, we do tap, ballet, and gymnastics. So it's a great class. Your child gets to learn a little bit of everything. And we also get several performance opportunities throughout the season. This is our wonderful viewing area. We have several chairs where you can see into the gym as well as into the dance room. Over here, we also have a play area for your younger children while they watch their older siblings. And we do sanitize our toys regularly so that we'll keep your children healthy throughout the season. And let's go on into the gym now. So the first station you'll see when you first walk into the gym is our balance beam station. As you can see, the balance beam is lowered down right now. We are about to start a pre-K class, so the balance beam is lower for that. It does go up higher for our grade school classes. And right here we have the balance beam expander, which is where we first learn to do our cartwheels and handstands and whatnot on the balance beam, so the children feel safe. We can put that on the balance beam as well, so they can learn how to do it on the beam at the right level. We do set the gym up differently each week for our parent-child classes. This is just a little crawling course for our younger ones. And then we have our rings. We will sometimes have the rings here, sometimes have a single bar here, so we switch that out from week to week as well. Over here is our tumbling station. It also is our vaulting station. Right now we have the vault set up on the lengthwise. We can also set it up the other way. All of our equipment is very interchangeable, so it grows with your child, which is really nice. And as you can see, we're set up over here for handstands up against the wall, cartwheels, rolls, all kinds of fun stuff in the tumbling station. Over here we have our bar station. We have our parallel bars, and we also have our uneven parallel bars. And the parallel bars are great for developing strength in our boys gymnastics program, as well as, just developing those strong arm muscles for all of our gymnasts. And then of course our standard uneven parallel bars here. We also have a lower balance beam, which is great for our parent-child classes. Here we have the butterflies tied onto the scarf, or tied onto the balance beam. We use scarves and encourage the children to learn to walk over them, maybe to jump over them. And with the bars on the side of the balance beam, it really gives your child a chance to get comfortable walking on the balance beam. So right here we have our air track. Now our air track is an inflatable surface that we use in our classes about once or twice a month, depending on the lesson plan. It's a great place to learn new tumbling skills, such as back handsprings, front handsprings. It's similar to a bounce house in its feel, and the children love it. It's lots of fun. So here's our group mat. This is where we do all our group tumbling. For instance, when we first start a class, all of our classes will start on the big red mat, and we do an opening circle and a warm-up exercise on the big red mat, and then we'll go on to our different stations throughout the class.
After the tour, I got the sense that the staff really care about the kids. They not only know the students by their first name, they give them personalized attention too. They also prep the gym by adjusting the equipment to match the age group during that specific class. I was later able to catch up with some parents to get their perspective on the little gym.
I enrolled my children in the little gym to keep them active and for the daily exercise and to interact with other children and to learn discipline and to become better in different sports.
The social skill aspect here is very important. The teachers are wonderful. They're very motivating, they're encouraging, and all the activities they do are engaging for my children.
I have a son, Alex, who's enrolled here in the little gym. And Alex is on the autism spectrum, and they've done a great job with acclimating their programs to help enrich his mobility, his cognitivity in the programs that they have. The gym sessions are fun, they're upbeat, they're easy to understand, and he just loves it. So we now have enrolled him twice a week, and we just love the little gym. It's a great place to be. We've been here since the day they opened.
Nestled in the rolling hills of the South Valley, Guglielmo Winery has been in business since 1925. Being in the vineyard, you can feel the rich history that permeates each bottle. Emilio Guglielmo started this vineyard by practicing the long-standing Italian philosophy of handcrafted wine. In fact, this winery has been family-owned and operated since it opened and is currently under the leadership of Emilio's 3 grandchildren.
Oh, Lottie. Oh, cantare. Oh,
After walking around the vineyard, I was able to get an inside perspective from George Guglielmo about their grapes and winemaking process.
So I'm George Guglielmo, the president and winemaster at Guglielmo Winery in Morgan Hill. And what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about where we are. This is the 2011 season. I'm standing in front of a grapevine full of Granulino, which is a unique variety to the state of California. It's also a unique variety in the sense that there are less than, as the last time I looked, less than 100 acres in the state that has roughly 500,000 acres of grapes in it. The Granulino is an Italian varietal that is grown primarily in the Piemonte area of Italy where my grandfather came from. And this is one of the reasons we have had it as a varietal probably for more than 20, 25 years. Our philosophy is to give you a great wine. We've basically in the last several years concentrated on the Santa Clara Valley for our premium label production. We do a Santa Clara Valley Petit Syrah, we do a Cabernet Sauvignon, we do a Zinfandel. We do them a Sangiovese and a Barbera. And then we have other labels that we have for our generic wines under the Emil's label, which basically got us started.
As I stayed in the barrel room, I caught up with their winemaker Alan to learn more about their winemaking process.
Hey, hi, my name is Alan DeWitt, and I am the winemaker here at Guglielmo Winery. What's kind of neat about our winery is we can do very small lots. We have a wine club. It's about 1,500 members. It takes about 130 cases, so we can really play around with these small lots, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm playing with small lots, and this is one of probably 10 to 15 small lots. So again, back to the best part of the job. And lastly, yeah, we're moving right along. This is a 2010. We're actually right on the harvest of 2011, so this is a year old now. It has some, you can really feel the structure in this wine. You can feel the tannins. You can feel them start to soften. You can see where another year is going to get it. Maybe you can see where another 2 years are going to get it. You know, we may blend this wine, we may bottle it alone. Like I said, we haven't decided, but I think it has a bright future.
After chatting with Ellen to understand more about Guglielmo's handcrafted wine, I was able to really get my head around why they win so many awards. This also explains why they have a fast-growing wine club membership. But it doesn't stop there. Guglielmo's property is a perfect venue for all kinds of events, like dinners, banquets, and don't forget the weddings. The winery has a very knowledgeable and friendly staff. Whether you're booking an event or just want to visit their tasting room, they're here to help. But I couldn't understand why this was such a cool place to visit. I'm sure it had something to do with the history and culture that has not only been passed down through the generations, but also reflects within the staff. I sat down with Gary Guglielmo to talk about the winery's rich history. Hi Gary, thanks for being on the show today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Great to have you out here.
Thanks. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the history. I know this is one of the oldest wineries here in the South Valley. And talk a little bit about the history and how you got to today.
Well, that's a lot of history. It's 86 years we've been around, and it all started with my grandfather, Emilio, who came over from northern Italy in 1910 and worked his way west, doing numerous jobs along the way to afford to make his way and settle into San Francisco. And that was where a lot of his other friends from northern Italy, the region he came from, had settled. So that's really where he got started. And he had made wine in Italy, but it was mainly for his neighbors and friends. It was not a commercial venture of any kind. So that was his passion when he came here. And he worked in San Francisco for a number of years, saving up enough money. As a matter of fact, we've got a picture in the Heritage Room of him hauling hides on a horse-pulled wagon from the tannery to the wharfs. He did numerous jobs and eventually brought my grandmother over and married her, and they bought the original 15 acres here in 1925. And that's when the winery got started, and that's how my grandfather got established. And then once he bought the winery here, he still operated out of San Francisco. And he became where he'd have his wines up there during the week and work his regular jobs, and come down here on the weekends and work the vineyard, make the wine, and haul it back up to San Francisco.
Busy guy.
It was a big venture, especially back in those days.
Yeah, and I would think that the distance between Morgan Hill and San Francisco was quite large because the transportation wasn't as strong back then.
Exactly. It was quite a venture. As a matter of fact, my dad, when he turned 14, when he turned 14, got a special license to follow my grandfather in a truck, flatbed truck with barrels of wine on it, from Morgan Hill to San Francisco to the warehouse.
14.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had a special license back then.
Wow, just a young teenager back then.
Yeah.
So you have, how many brothers do you have?
There's 3 of us all.
3 of us,
yes.
And you kind of started to, did your father and just being the generations just really just become a family thing, or do you have any other interests, or do you just really knew that wine and keeping the family tradition of the winery, on course?
Well, he came back from World War II and joined my father and my grandfather in the business, and he knew he wanted to come back and run the business with my grandfather, and so he ran it for a number of years. And then George, my oldest brother, graduated from Fresno State and got his degree in enology and viticulture, and came into the business in the late 60s.
Wow.
So he became the 3rd generation winemaker.
So what's your role here?
Well, we have titles, but we wear lots of hats.
Sure.
My title's a general manager, and I basically oversee the different departments here and make sure everything works.
Got it.
We're very fortunate. We've got a great staff that really make this whole winery what it is. And it's really, an organization is only as good as the people that work there.
I agree.
And we're very lucky and very fortunate to have such a great staff. And we'd love to have you people come out and visit us and experience it for yourself. There's a lot of great wineries down in this area. We're becoming more and more recognized as a destination for people that want to go somewhere other than Napa or Sonoma.
Okay, now it's time to sober up and talk business. Commercial management company Smith Wagley is designed to not only manage their clients' properties, but to coach the clients themselves, helping them make the kinds of decisions that will create a win-win situation between the tenant and the owner. Mitzi Smith and Mary Wagley discuss what commercial management is and talk about how they can make their unique coaching skills work for you and your business. Well, hello everyone. I'm sitting with Mitzi Smith and Mary Wagley of Smith Wagley Commercial Management. Hi you two, thanks for being on the show today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk a little bit about your backgrounds.
I've been in commercial property management since the early 80s and focused the majority of my career in the retail sector for about 11 years. Mary?
And I started my career in facility management for corporations.
Oh, okay, great.
So the 2 of us got together and decided to form our own company.
So I know not a lot of people are familiar with commercial management, what it is, what it entails. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
An individual might own own a commercial property. It could be an office building such as the one we're in, a retail center, and they would hire us to oversee managing the tenants, collecting rents, making sure the landscaper showed up and pulled the weeds, making sure that there's no roof leaks, answering any tenant questions. Maybe they have a maintenance issue inside their space, making sure that all the terms and conditions of their lease are being met by both parties. So we handle all aspects of that for the client as well as for the tenant.
Oh, okay, great. So you really try to create like a win-win situation, try to keep good collaboration, keep the property up to par instead of just letting it go by the wayside.
Yes, by hiring us, it increases the value of the asset.
Well, clearly that's why a lot of people invest in real estate, right?
Exactly.
Great. You do a lot of coaching to the owners. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Many times the family members come from different perspectives and objectives of what they think is best, and so we will meet with them, gather all of the information, try to identify what is most important for them as far as their goals and objectives. Is it a long-term hold, a short-term hold? Are they looking for maximum income to distribute to the owners? Are they looking to build the property value by reinvesting back into improvements and upgrades? We listen to all of that. Then Mary and I will help them.
And taking into consideration the economy too.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Yes.
that's a nice point.
Right.
And helping them to develop a strategy that we can implement on their behalf to work towards those goals.
So you really take a look at all the bullet points and then really put them in exact priority,
have to.
attached costs, look at different types of savings plans. Instead of just spending tons of money on one item, you can get different bids.
An example is a particular shopping center we manage. One of the family members isn't particularly wild about the building colors. However, the building is in good
Well,
shape.
personal preference, huh?
runs
Very
from-
much so.
yeah.
And going through identifying the cost of repainting it in this economy versus what they might get in benefit for base rent to re-tenant the space, there's no benefit to them whatsoever at this point. It's not going to raise the value of the base rents
Just
right
by
now.
painting?
Just by painting, and it would put a burden on to the tenants because they reimburse for part of that cost. So by talking this through with them, we were able to determine that this wasn't the best time to endeavor upon that particular project.
It sounds like both of you really take your clients, your properties, and really customize your services.
We treat them like they're our own, the properties. We treat them like they're our own properties.
Real take ownership.
Exactly.
That's really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's great. From prioritizing and look at numbers, it sounds like you have some tools and ideas on how to compensate for that. Can you elaborate on that?
We took over a large shopping center in the Central Valley where the economy is experiencing a greater decline there than it is in the Bay Area. Keeping tenants is a top priority. There's not a lot of retail tenants there. So we went in and realized that there were some disgruntled tenants there that were ready to move out of the shopping center. By meeting with them, understanding what their challenges were and what was causing them some frustration, much of it was very small maintenance items, and part of it was renegotiating their base rent to something that was more reasonable in today's market. We were able to keep 3 tenants in place that otherwise were ready to move out and go to other centers. So it's very important to meet with each of the tenants, understand what's going on, and the owners didn't realize that was even happening. So by going back to them and saying, it's in your best interest to work these out, we were able to create individualized, customized transactions for each one of those tenants based on what their concerns were that kept them in the center, and renegotiated longer-term leases with them so they'll be there for a very long time.
Oh, that's great. What a good save there.
That's one of the things that we specialize in, is going out to the properties, talking to the people and understanding the individual needs of each
Hands-on.
customer and each tenant in order to address those. Much of it's easy, small items that can be taken care of pretty quickly, but it's a sense of frustration for them. If it's an overflowing garbage can right outside their storefront,
Nobody wants that.
nobody wants that, and they see it every day, so every day they become more and more frustrated.
And I actually did have that issue recently
Oh.
So
at
by-
a doctor's office.
Oh no, that's... But it sounds like from you two, you were on it right away. You didn't let it
You
slip.
have to be at your properties. That's important. You have to see what's going on.
So you're not just by the phone or the computer.
No.
You are physically showing up, hands-on to
Yes.
the property, on location.
We try to be at our properties every 2 or 3 weeks.
I know the first names of every one of my tenants.
Wow. And I'm sure that's a big list.
They all have my cell phone number as well as Mary's. So no matter what time of the day or night they have an emergency or a need, they can reach us 24/7.
And we do get called at night. And we
But
answer the phone.
But I think that's good, right? You create that comfort zone for the tenants so they don't feel like if the plumbing, springs a leak or the roof leaks or the garbage, they don't fear giving you a call at 11 at night or 1 in the morning, whatever. I think that's great to establish that culture.
I mean, we do want a true emergency call.
Well, of course.
So-
No, I understand that.
Right.
I'll justify. I'll justify that. But I mean, if a huge 3-foot diameter hole strikes from a tree coming in, you need to take care of that immediately.
Or fire or flood. And
Clearly.
we have had both those incidents.
Last year we had someone with a pickup truck try to steal an ATM machine from one of our banking centers.
Steal?
In an island outside. The on-site staff didn't know what to do. The police called me at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was on site and helped them navigate through what needed to take place to secure their facility, as well as who they needed to contact even within their own banking center. So that was a situation that arose. They didn't know what to do. Saturday morning I was on site at 6 a.m. Many times Mary's been out at her properties on a weekend or a night. Cars run into a building. It happens.
What are your retention and renewal rates? It sounds like you have a very successful track record.
For the last 2 years, we've maintained a 97% retention rate. The few tenants that we have lost have basically been because we couldn't meet their growth needs, such as maybe they were expanding and needed more square footage that we just didn't have.
Or needed a loading dock. We had that issue recently.
Exactly. They needed a specific
type of space
that we didn't have at that location, and they relocated due to that. We have a very strong philosophy that it's in our clients' best interest to keep the existing tenants, especially since most of them are very good tenants, pay well, take care of their space, generate the type of business that we want at each location. We don't want to lose them. So we invest in time and energy in developing those relationships to make them last. And both of us decided that the culture that we wanted to foster was much more relationship oriented and not driven by paperwork and numbers and computer reports and what have you. So we spend a lot of time developing relationships not only with our tenants but with our clients and our vendors.
Well, would you guys like to take a look at some of the properties and go on site and discuss some of the issues?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Let's go take a look.
Excellent.
And Mitzi is going to talk about some maintenance issues here at this property.
So this particular building has a portion of the roof that failed prematurely. So we went out, obtained multiple bids, developed a scope of work. We also were well aware that the HVAC units sitting in that portion of the roof were near the end of their useful life. So by coordinating our efforts, we are able to replace all 4 HVAC units, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning units, at the same time that we do the roof work, thereby cutting the cost. Since those units need to be lifted and removed with the crane to do this work, by replacing them at the same time, we were able to realize a significant cost savings. But it took us a fair amount of work to coordinate with the roofer contractor and the HVAC contractor to make all of that happen. We recently did a site visit up on the roof with both representatives from those firms and coordinated all of the scheduling to do it at a time when the tenants can be without air conditioning for a few days and not be too disruptive. We're very happy that we were able to coordinate this and get the work done at this time of the year for a very excellent cost.
Well, it looks like we're out of time. I'd like to thank my guests, Carol Cromer, Kelly Wong, and all the participating parents and students at the Little Gym. I'd like to thank George and Gary Guglielmo, as well as Alan DeWitt at Guglielmo Winery. And of course, I'd like to thank Mitzi Smith and Mary Wogley at Smith Wogley Commercial Management. We'll see you on the next Inside the South Valley. Bye-bye!